My dear students, welcome to the next lecture with respect to the previous lecture. So that is the animal distribution throughout the world. So today we are going to discuss about the factors affecting on the animal distribution. So the main factors affecting the animal distribution, animals spread out in the biosphere through migration only. All these things, just we have seen in the previous two lectures actually. Migration and dispersal of animals are controlled by many factors and barriers actually. Even briefly I explained about factors affecting on the barriers, helping or barriers which are affecting the distribution of animals throughout the world, and by the with that just animals are unevenly distributed. So here I like to summarize all these factors into three. One is the physical barrier, climatic barrier, and biological barrier. So under physical barriers, it includes mountains, rivers, lakes, sea, vegetation, or forest, and long distance, etc. So please you see that there is some spelling mistake here. And the climatic barriers which mainly causes is temperature, moisture, light, and pH. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction about all these things. In biological barrier, availability of food, predator, and enemies also comes in the picture actually. We see that all the 6 continents where this picture clearly indicates that all the 6 continents or realms, not continents, sorry, it is realms, give a clear indication what are the main animals present in that particular realm actually. So in Nearctic we have this kind of organisms like red fox, beavers, red deer, antelopes, etc. In Neotropical we have anteaters, sloths, and other animals comes under this group. In Palearctic we have red fox, here also we have red fox, but it is somewhat like a species distinction is there when they cannot go and interpret. So we have panda here and horse we have, and other things like red deer and other things are present here. And coming to the Africa we have gorilla, lemurs, giraffe, and elephant. African elephant is very common here. And the Orientalis we have some tree shoes and peacock, etc. comes under this group actually. In Australia we have kiwi, kangaroos, and Tasmanian devil, etc. comes under this group actually. So with this picture you can understand that some of the organisms are not clearly evenly distributed here. Some are restricted to Nearctic, Neotropical Africa, Palearctic or Australia, something like that. So what make all these things unevenly distribution throughout the world? It is something like what we call it as the barriers actually. You can see that the large number of water body, large number of mountains, large number of forests and other things are making unfavorable for organisms to move across the countries actually. So other than that, the biological factors like food availability, predators, etc. comes in the picture. Where the climate condition is very important. Factor coming under this thing actually. So if you consider the equatorial region, some area, and the above the equatorial and below the equatorial, they are not very similar in temperature, at least the chemical factor and climatic factor. So that makes the complete barrier for organisms to move from the dorsal, the above the equatorial to below the equatorial and vice versa actually. So in physical barriers, the topographical barriers comes in the picture actually. Just you see that the topography of this thing, topography here, this and all completely varies actually. Large bodies of water and land masses, impurity and lack of salinity of seawater, and vegetative barrier, sheer distance, etc. All these things comes in the picture actually. So in my regular class I said all these things, just how these things are happening. Even the small barrier, say in a long tree, some of the organisms staying at the top and some of them are in the middle or some of them are in the bottom of the tree actually. So they cannot move across from the bottom to the what is that lower side, or the ground to top. So it is something like a restriction among the organisms in relation to movement of their what is that movement actually. So coming to the climatic condition, temperature play a very important role. Based on the temperature, we call it as tropical region and as well as temperate region actually. So the temperate organisms cannot move into the tropical region. However, since in exceptional case they can move, otherwise they cannot move. And temperature affect the concentration of animals in the things. When you see that in the polar regions, where more number of scarce animals, otherwise it is very less animal population you can see when compared to the tropical region. External temperature affect the organism, especially those that do not maintain the constant internal water temperature. For example, cold-blooded organisms actually. Extreme of temperature requires special adaptation, so only some species can survive in that condition. Based on that temperature, you can see that in a cold-blooded animal and a warm-blooded animal actually. So intrinsic factor and extrinsic factor play a very crucial role with related to this thing actually. So here you see that this Shelford law of tolerance. So here you can see that this just I have taken only pH and temperature here. So the first one zone is intolerance here, and the zone of physiological stress here. When you go to too much of acidic condition with respect to the pH I am talking here, the unbelievable niche and marginal niche you can find here. So where in this zone where the temperature, the pH is too acidic condition, zone of intolerance, animal cannot tolerate, and zone of physiological stress, even the organisms, some kind of organisms present in this area, they are full of stress actually. So when you see that optimum range, or this is what we can call a tolerance range. However, optimum range is very much suitable for organisms to live comfortably. So this area is very much comfortable for organisms to live with respect to the pH actually. So when the pH is too alkaline, say an example, marginal alkaline area. So this is very okay. Some of the organisms can even bear the stress actually, they can still survive. But here, when the media is very too alkaline, say an example in aquatic media I am talking about. So when the water is too alkaline, most probably it is a zone of intolerance. Animals cannot live here. It is unavailable niche. So no room for organisms to live in this, because even too alkalinity, too acidic condition will be very unfavorable for organisms to live. It's the same condition even in temperature also. So when you take temperature in this area, too much of coldness may not be suitable for all the organisms. That may be unsuitable for organisms. So we have a zone of physiological stress, and too hot area also. Too hot and too cold is very problematic. And if you see that when it comes to the optimum range, but for both pH and temperature, it is very suitable, where large number of organisms can survive and they can adapt to themselves in this area, where abundance of food, abundance of niche, abundance of everything available in that area, so that animals can comfortably stay in that area. Okay. So globally, as an example, global distribution of reef building corals. You see that red mark indicate that this is the equator, where the 30 degree north and 30 degree south, if you take say above the equator and below the equator, in this region you can find more number of what you call it as the coral reefs actually. So if Indian subcontinent you take, so this area, so Maldives, Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar, in this the Bay of Bengal, this region you can find, and the Kanyakumari area you can find, and some area in this region you can find the corals actually. So in Australia you can see this area, and the Malaysia and Singapore area you can find this thing. In Bangladesh some area you can find the things. Now when it comes to Africa, you can find in the Congo area, in the South African region, just you have a lot of coral reef area, and some of the islands in belongs to the Africa, so you can find the coral here. And South American continent somewhere here, you can see the things actually in Brazil area. And here in Mexico region and other things, you can find some of the coral here. That means, the temperature play a very important role in formation of the coral reefs. However, you cannot see the same fauna in this region and as well as in this region, because the temperature is not suitable for them to live and proliferate actually or reproduce. Okay. Coming to the biological, system, you have a breeding site. Breeding site is very important thing actually. For example, mosquito needs stagnant water to lay eggs actually. So mosquito breeding is very dangerous for human beings. However, when it comes to the species, survivability and species recognition and species present in the nature, so this is very important to understand actually. All the species of animal breed at the same stage their life cycle actually, right? So as I said, water play very important, water pH is very important, water temperature is very important, and alkalinity, all these parameters are very important. Based on that, animals are distributed in the aquatic ecosystem actually. So some of the fishes, they live in the salt water, some of them they are living in the brackish water, some of them they are living in the fresh water. Among the fresh water, some of them are very specific in river, lakes, etc. like that. And the food supply is also another important biological parameter, where food abundance is very much more. The food, species things will be, species density will be more. Otherwise, species may not occur in this thing. Please, you read all these things, carefully and understand the things actually. Prey predatory mechanism. Always the predators should be lesser in number and the prey should be more in number. Then only the ecological balance comes in the picture actually. The best example that we have is the cat and mouse, feeding behavior relationship. So the food web and food chain said to be the best example to understand the prey and predatory mechanisms, where the predators are less in number and the prey should be more in number. Then only the equal balanced ecosystem can be seen in the nature. So thank you. You follow the next lecture on my to continue to this subject. Thank you very much.